Welcome everybody to the Race for ALS, race number 3 of the RFA Charity Championship. We're here at Dubai, a very complex, difficult, mountainous track with a very large grid today. We have the largest grid we have seen in a long time at NBR, and I think the largest we've seen for this event. We're about to get qualifying underway. This Charity Championship is a fundraising championship that is raising funds and awareness for the ALS Association. The ALS Association is driving research and support in fighting ALS. They're raising money and awareness to help raise funds and research for cures to help those who are struggling with the disease. All proceeds and donations on the Twitch or the PayPal that will be linked in chat will be going straight to the ALS Association. Drivers are competing today. Drivers are competing today for the chance to win a copy of the new Forza Motorsport coming in October. The first place finisher will receive the Premium Edition, second place will receive the Deluxe Edition, and third place will receive a normal copy of it. Prizes are only available for United States residents. Alright, we have a bunch of new faces here today. J-Blade YT in the number 14 Lotus. King Kaylee in the number 43 Lotus. They're all in Lotus. Fishy's Rule, or Mustang Driver 1.0, in the number 11 Lotus. Marylander, who did not show up today, in the number 22 Lotus. And here we go. We're about to get underway with qualifying as we're loading into the track. As we hear the jets of Dubai flying overhead. This is a fictional racetrack for Forza Motorsport 7. It is based in Dubai, mixing the hilly climate, the deserts, and the rich city in the background. As we're on board with Ultra Prime in the number 1 Lotus Extige, as we come around for the first hot lap. Well, this is not really a hot lap, sorry. I keep forgetting. It's the first lap, so it's going to be their warm-up lap. You can already see Larry B the G. Ooh, Ultra Prime getting a little squirrely there through the first chicane. It's a very tricky chicane. It's very fast. As they're going up the hill now towards the hilly section, this is one of the most difficult parts of the track. It's very slow and windy as you're curving up the hill. It's a very fast section. Oh my goodness. Ultra Prime already into the wall, unfortunately. They're coming up the windy, twisty bit. It's really easy to get the rear end to kick out in this Lotus, as it's very loose, especially with the short wheelbase. It's really easy to get the cars to spin and rotate, but they're also really good around these slower, tighter corners because of that shorter wheelbase. It allows the car to be really nimble. It's a nimble car, and it's driving perfectly up the hills of Dubai here. We see J-Blade in the number... Oh, Ultra Prime with another wall strike there. Unfortunate start to the qualifying session. Up on board of who's leading the pack. Oh, who's back there? Fishy's Rules all the way back there. Top on board with who's leading the pack on our first warm-up lap. Larry B. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, Larry B the G sporting a new livery for Dubai in the number 5 Lotus. We've seen him previously in the yellow banana Lotus, I'd like to call it. But now he's sporting Martini colors and the Martini logo on the side of his Lotus. As we see Mailman, our safety car driver, going toe-to-toe with Larry B the G. It's incredible that he's able to push that Lotus as fast as that Alpha's going. I don't know how much power that Alpha's got, but look at this. Sunshine following closely behind. Not that this matters, the gaps don't really matter, as this is just the opening laps of qualifying. It's a 15-minute qualifying session, but this is a longer track, so we're going to see less laps, which means these drivers are going to have to make it clean, make it count all the way through, especially with this first lap. As they're coming through the tunnel, which is the second to final corner here, it's very easy to enter a little too fast, but you have to exit as fast as possible as well, as it's a long sweeping right-hander where you can keep it floored, as we see Larry rolling that car out on the exit perfectly, beautifully done. And across the line, we have the start of our first hot laps as we're on board Larry B the G. One last race at Mugello with an excellent fuel saving strat. We'll have to see if he's able to pull out some great strategies here today against Mr. Sunshine. Mr. Sunshine and also a runner-up, finishing second in the last 2 races. He's going to have a lot of competition here to try and beat Larry B the G. Sunshine shows great pace and great excellence in his driving. He has always at NBR and CXRL, and he's been here very long. He's one of our most active members. And we know Sunshine can put up a battle, but Larry B the G is also very quick. He was right there with Sunshine for a lot of the race at Mugello. Unfortunately, he dropped off at Maple Valley. He wasn't able to hold on as much, but we'll have to see. Is Larry going to come out with a better tune, better strategy, like he did at Mugello to beat Sunshine? Sunshine kind of in a frustrating spot, coming second twice. He almost had the win at Maple Valley and ended up crashing towards the end, giving Relampago the victory as he had to pit. Relampago also in pretty good standings in the championship, finishing third at Mugello, first at Maple Valley. The Mugello double points race is going to be huge for these drivers up front. It's going to be a big kick down to the people who missed that race. All of the new drivers we have here racing today are going to be at a huge disadvantage in the points because they missed the double scoring points at Mugello. Luckily, there's one more endurance race towards the end of the championship that might pull them up in the championship standings. Double points at Abu Dhabi. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Great lap by Larry B the G so far. I just realized that Mailman has ruined our best lap counter in the bottom left for driving. We'll have to improvise. Oh, Larry getting really close to that wall there. You got to get as close as you can to widen your exit so that you can get a good run out of this final corner onto the start-finish straight. But it's really easy to clip that inside wall, and if you give yourself damage, it's game over. Mailman coming across with a benchmark 233. Larry B the G in third as Mr. Sunshine takes provisional pole from Larry B the G. We'll have to see as the rest of the grid makes their way around. Relampago taking provisional second place from Larry B the G. Chavez in fourth. And we're still waiting for the rest of the hot laps to finish out. Eros DNFing from the qualifying session. I'm wondering if they had connection issues. We'll check in on that. Hop on board with another one of our drivers, Relampago, who's showing excellent pace so far here, are knocking down Larry B the G from that second place. I'll say for Relampago's able to take provisional pole from Mr. Sunshine or hold second place, both with really good lap times. I think Larry ended up setting a dirty lap. It's kind of hard to tell. This track is is a big skill difference. Even the fast guys are going to have big gaps from each other because of just how technical this track is. I wanted to include it because it's such a beautiful track and so technical at the same time, because it would really challenge drivers to be at the best. Plus, it was basically the cover track of Forza Motorsport 7, so we had to, as long as it was as this is kind of a ode to Forza Motorsport 7, as long as also a annual charity championship event. You'll see this again next year, don't worry. So we see the grid spreading out a lot now, as we've only done a few laps. Only done a few laps. Already with a DNF of the session. We have probably one of the biggest spreads of time gap between provisional pole and the back of the grid as we've ever had. I think it's about 10 seconds or more. Let's see. It's nearly 20 seconds, give or take. More like 15 right now. We'll have to see what Sunshine's able to do, and Larry, as they're about to finish another set of hot laps here at Dubai. I'll see if there's any movement. No movement so far. Chavez holding a pretty solid fourth place now. Pretty big gaps in the cars behind, as you can see the order there. Just push back everybody one position, and that's their actual starting position due to Mailman being in the session. Hop on board with another driver here. A new driver here to NBR, King ALS, with a great livery, a Petronas livery on that Lotus. And of course my monitor wants to fight with me. And the number 43. With the thinking face on the back of it. Love to see it. Glad to see you at NBR. Welcome. As your first race here. Pretty good qualifying turnout so far. Holding provisional. Overtook Chavez. Chavez, a very good driver here at NBR. Has a good track record. Even though they're a bit newer, they've stapled themselves as a regular here at NBR with great driving pace and great racecraft. Has been passed by King ALS. I'm wondering what happened there. King ALS getting in the wall a little bit there. Somebody's in the pits, I believe. We'll have to see it on the ticker again. King ALS, oh, losing it up the hill. I've done that as much as I'd hate to admit. It's very easy to do, especially in like more rear-end centered cars. If you're on the gas a little too early, it whips around. But at the same time, he's putting on a smoke show here, pulling Tokyo Drift at Dubai. We're with another new member. First race in the RFA Championship for J-Blade. Struggling a little bit at the back. Again, drifting it out. We'll have to see if these drifts are intentional. As much as we love to see a little bit of sliding around, it is against the rules. J-Blade with the number 14. Getting a little squirrely on the curbs there. Really easy. You want to hug as close as you can to that inside wall, but at the same time, you don't want to hug it too hard that you get loose on those curbs, because they're almost as bad as the Nürburgring curbs, as they're almost at like a 45-degree angle. I think it's a little bit more than that, because they'll just unsettle your car. You try and hug it as best as you can, and your car's just going to sweep out from under you. It is not a good time. Prime showing off a pretty good qualifying performance so far. Larry B. the G taking second position from Relampago. It was a long time in the waiting. We'll see if Chavez is able to take fourth position back from King ALS. Fishy's Rule currently holding up the back of the pack. Behind Eros, who is a DNF from qualifying session. We'll have to see if they set a lap. If they did set a lap, that time is still valid. Ultra Prime, another regular here, has raced in every single one of the Race for ALS Championship races. Unfortunately had a DNF last week at Mugello. Almost finished. He almost finished and scored the points, but unfortunately the 10-minute DNF clock got him short-handed at the final corner as he was unlapping himself. It was really unfortunate to see. But he's a trooper. Even though he's spent a lot of his time in last, He's kept on going. But he looks like he might not be in last year, as he has some competition around his pace level. But this bigger grid means that he's going to struggle in points, specifically the points he missed from last week. Those missing out on those double points is going to ruin a lot of people's chances here for this championship. However, if you're here just for fun and just for the hell of it, why not? Man, Jake, why does he have such a good run? Does Ultra Prime have Ultra Prime has engine damage. That would explain it. I was about to say, how did he gap him like that down the straight? Incredible. Fishy's Rule, another new driver to NBR. The number 11. Lotus. We're getting a little squirrely down the hill. Ooh, really easy to do in this car. Trying to overcorrect. Back to the car, it just likes to snap on you. More drifting. Oh, and it's getting loose again. It's a tricky track and a really tricky car to learn, specifically on wheel as well. Not to mention that. Back on board with King ALS, holding up a good fourth position so far. Are still holding the position from Chavez. We'll have to see how this plays out for the rest of the race. Rest of qualifying. I bet by now we're running a bit low on qualifying time. I forgot to set my timer / mark the clock. Up on board with the battle for provisional pole. Larry B the G versus Mr. Sunshine. I think Mr. Sunshine has a significant pace advantage. Wow, Larry with the massive lockup. I think that may have been intentional because I think that was the last possible lap they could set. As we see Mr. Sunshine and Larry B the G. That was the last lap they could set. And the results for the top few positions so far are stagnant on the ticker. LL Mr. Sunshine's taking provisional pole. Larry B the G in second, followed by Relampago. There's still some guys that could possibly finish a lap here. See if there's any more movement in the grid. Up on board with King Ali again. So far, the positions seem pretty stagnant. King Ali coming through the tunnel. Trying to hold as much speed as you can. Coming up this fast, flowing right-hander. It goes uphill, which allows your car to get more traction. But it's also so easy for your car to slide slide to the left if you're going a little bit too fast. But these cars are so light and nimble. They're perfect. I believe that is the last lap they could have set. We'll see if there's any other mix-ups in the grid as we see the rest of the grid coming around to finish their qualifying sessions. Here at race number 3 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Dubai. And Ultra Prime really suffering from that engine damage. Probably would have been worth the pit, but see that they're hanging on. And there we go. That is the qualifying session complete for race number 3 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship. We'll be right back with the grid positions and we'll get the race underway. Welcome back, everybody, and we are back with race number 3 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Dubai. Here's our grid positions. As we can see on screen, this is how our grid will look. Ignore Mailman and me. We are just extras. I'm commentating, and Mailman is their safety car for the day. Let's go over our grid positions before we get the race started. We have taking pole once more is Sunshine with an 02.33.972. Great lap. A whole second faster than the guy taking second today. Second position on the first row is Larry B the G with an 02.34.324. Following up for row number 2 in third position is Relampago with an 02.36.505. Rounding out for fourth on this, and rounding out the second row is King Ali with an 02.41.50.559, followed by Chavez with an 02.42.954, followed by J-Blade with an 02.47.727, followed by Eros, who is unfortunately not joining us for the race, with an 02.53.842, followed by Ultra Prime with an 02.56.696, and rounding out the grid is Fishy's Rule with an 03.00398. All right, let's get our drivers started and on the track. We're about to get some crazy action into turn 1. All right, and we're about to get ready for race number 3 of the RFA Race for ALS Charity Championship at Dubai. Let's get this race underway. This is one of our biggest grids so far of the championship, and one of our biggest watch counts. Thank you all for watching on twitch.tv. Make sure to hit the donation button on the Twitch or in the chat for the PayPal to help support the ALS Association and their mission to help drive research and funding towards helping those with ALS. Donate today. Alright, once this black screen goes away, we'll be underway for race number 3 of the RFA Race for ALS Charity Championship. And here we go. We are green at Dubai. And here we have the mighty roar of the Lotuses into turn 1. So far, so good. It is a very wide track, so it's very difficult to have incidents in that early part. But here we go. Here's easy part. Sunshine running really wide. He's going to let Larry be the G. And Relampago 3 wide already. Goodness gracious. It is a mess. Larry be the Chavez up in the holy moly, the front 4. This is a very close battle for the lead right now. Mr. Sunshine getting a bad run through the chicane is going to cost him so much time as they're up into the mountain section. Already we have oh, not a driver's strand. My bad. That's the safety car. Oh my goodness, this is a big pack of drivers. They are very close right now. The top 5 all within a second of each other. As we're going up, still up the mountain, around the curvy bits. This is very close. It's very hard to, once you get stacked... Oh, big contact between Larry B the G and Relampago there. Once you get stacked up here behind somebody, it's very hard to get around because the offlines are so much slower and people are sending it. Chavez up into 3rd. What an incredible... Oh, opportunistic drive, and Larry B the G is getting a little bit squirrely, and Sunshine's going to take the opportunistic moves. Almost going to get 2 positions there, but it's going to get caught in Relampago. Bit of an incident there. Relampago getting dragged wrong. Chavez and Larry B the G. There's so much going on. Incredible. Chavez getting loose on this fast right-hand corner here. And goodness gracious, Larry B the G is going to take the lead of race number 3 so far. What happened between Relampago and Sunshine there? Looks like Forza Glue got him stuck on the wall. We'll have to see if there's an investigation for that. See if anybody's at fault. Chavez taking 3rd position now, followed very closely by King Ailey. And Relampago not far behind. And Chavez not out of the fight for the top positions now. What an incredible first lap from our starting group here. Relampago on the attack of King Ailey back there. We'll hop on board with King Ailey. You see how he's able to defend by this. And Relampago's going to get by so far, but King Ailey looks to have a run. So we're on the back part of the track by the sand dunes. It's a very fast section of the track. Relampago is going to get by King Ailey pretty easily here. Relampago also on a run on Chavez here. He's going to dive towards the inside. Is he going to make it stick, though? It's kind of hard to make it stick in this corner. King Ailey with a great run down into the tunnel here. We'll have to see how this plays out. Relampago on the bumper of Chavez as Larry B the G and Sunshine pulling away. And there they are. They're too wide. Chavez being forced the inside line. He's going to have to give up. He's going to have to lift and brake because Relampago was squeezing him there. And it's just going to be a run for King Ailey on Chavez up the start-finish straight. We'll have to see. It doesn't look like it's going to be that quick. What a first lap that has been from everybody. We've been clean all the way through so far. Great performance from everybody involved. Up on board with 2nd place is our pole sitter, who once pole sitter, making a big mistake lap 1, ended up falling down a few positions, getting into a small incident with Relampago back there. We'll also see our battle in the back for last place, Ultra Prime and Fishy's Rule duking it out back there. Keep an eye on our lead battles. We have a lot of battles seeing here. We'll have to also keep an eye on our fuel and tire usage here. Sunshine with 3% engine damage. That is very interesting. That could hold Sunshine back from the win here, or it could equalize Larry and Sunshine's pace. We could see a really great battle here formulating. Keep an eye on all the gaps between everyone. We'll hop on board with Chavez and Relampago. See if Chavez is going to be able to get back that position from Relampago. Chavez very quick on that start. He was holding up with the top 5 there. Now as things spread out, it's a little less close and personal. Oh! It looks like we might have an incident coming up the hill. King Ailey got turned around, it looks. Does he have any damage? No damage, but is in 6th position now. With a big gap to the leaders. He's going to try and... Oh, that was Ultra Prime and Fishy back there, duking it out for last. Hop on board with Mr. Sunshine as he's catching up to Larry, slowly but surely. Almost half a second splitting him apart now. Oh, Larry running really wide out of that fast left-hander. Almost all of these corners are fast rights or fast lefts. I don't have a track map of this map, nor do I know the corner names, because it's a fictional circuit. So they're coming by the sand dunes, coming towards the airport section, which goes into a massive tunnel under the airport, and back around. Have to hop on board back here for the battle in the mid-pack. We'll keep an eye on the gaps between Sunshine, as Blade is in 5th position, followed closely by King Ailey. Ooh, Blade getting really squirrely in the sand dune section. Is going to lose him a lot of pace. And King Ailey is going to slot right on by. Around the outside, possibly. No, King Ailey is going to have to twitch. And is going to have to hold it. Going to be on the inside here. Ooh, very close to having a big wreck there. Big incident. So we're keeping an eye on the times for the lead battle. Oh, King Ailey into the wall there is going to give... Nope, it was J-Blade into the wall. Going to give King Ailey the position. for 5th place. On board. Keep an eye on all of our gaps so far. Ailey, after having an unfortunate incident up the hill, is back to 5th. Is he going to be able to catch Chavez? King Ailey had great qualifying pace, was able to out-qualify Chavez. See if he's able to hold up that pace throughout this race. 3 out of 14 laps completed. This is a long track, so we can expect anything to happen here. Hopping back with LL Mr. Sunshine and Larry B the G. This rivalry has been going on for the past 2 races. Honestly, this rivalry has expanded out of NBR and other places. These two are very close on pace and are always duking it out. But in this championship, they've been especially close. The rest of the grid is spread out a bit. We'll keep an eye to see if there's any upsets. On board with Larry B the G. Our leader so far, the new Martini number 5 Lotus. This is one of my favorite tracks just because it's beautiful. You have the massive desert on the left here and the city in the background. It's a very, very luxurious area of Dubai. Now we can see our blue dot there is our safety car driver for this weekend. Mailman is our resident safety car driver in the Alfa Romeo 4C. When it looks like Sunshine's getting closer, 0.3 splitting them apart. So coming through the sand dune section. He's within the draft now. It's going to be pulling him closer to Larry B the G. Look at that line. He was hugging that inside apex. He's getting so much closer now as they're coming towards the tunnel section. Sunshine going to be able to make the move. We have some battles in the mid-pack here we'll have to keep an eye on. Fishy's Rule and King Ailey. Did King Ailey get into another situation? Here we go. Mr. Sunshine on Larry B the G. Coming through the tunnel. It looks like King Ailey must have made another mistake because he's back behind Iron Blade. Sunshine on the bumper of Larry B the G. It's kind of hard to pass in this section of the track. It's honestly kind of hard to pass anywhere because there's not really very hard braking zones, specifically in these cars. The chicane is kind of a hard break. Oh, I thought Sunshine was getting a little squirrely there. It was just the camera positioning, panning in a weird way. We're going to the chicane very fast. We'll see if Sunshine makes the same mistake he did earlier on. Almost did. Oh, he loses it big time. Snaps it. Sim switches it. It's going to have a big spin, but is going to recover and might get passed by Relampago here. We'll have to see if Relampago is able to get by. Relampago is going to get by Mr. Sunshine. A big sim twitch out of the chicane early on in the lap is going to cost Mr. Sunshine a ton of pace from Larry B the G. I think I gave him the commentator's curse by saying I think Sunshine would get it. But there's still a lot of laps left as we're only 4 out of 14. We have a car in the pits. Is it King Ailey? It is King Ailey. King Ailey must have gotten into an incident and gotten damaged and now is in the pits for repairs. So if Relampago is able to hold his own here against Mr. Sunshine, they've duked it out before, specifically at Mugello and at Maple Valley. Relampago about a second off the pace. That doesn't mean that he's not able to hold his own when it comes to defending at Dubai. Sunshine not going to send it up anywhere too viciously, though. He's on the bumper, though. The gaps between everybody's splitting apart a bit. I believe we lost somebody. I could be wrong. Did we lose a driver? Well, here we go. Sunshine going to try on the inside. Nope. Relampago's going to close the door. We did not lose somebody. Okay. I thought we did. Here we go. Larry B the G and Mr. Sunshine. We're coming into the sand part. Oh no, this is not Larry B the G. I'm sorry. Eros is now able to start. That's correct. I'm sorry. Relampago and Mr. Sunshine. I'm sorry. Relampago's putting up a good fight. I thought it was Larry for a second. I was looking away at the number board. Look at Relampago go, defending from Mr. Sunshine into the dune section, into the airport section, heading down the hill. This is a great drive from Relampago so far. The longer he's able to hold off Mr. Sunshine, the better off Larry B the G is going to be. It's been an incredible drive so far from both of them. Following up in 4th behind this battle is Chavez. We have some pretty big gaps in our pace here. So you can see how spread out the grid is. That doesn't mean anything can happen still. This is a very easy track. If you get spun around and hit somebody wrong, you both get damaged. We go into a really sketchy part of the track, into the fast chicane. It's a very quick chicane, and it's all about exit speed. And Sunshine gets a really slow exit. I think he got something wrong. Or was just going in there very cautiously, because that's his second time he's had an issue at that chicane. The first lap and a few laps ago. I think it was last lap, actually. 5 out of 14 laps. This race is going by pretty quickly so far. And Larry B. the G in a very comfortable lead. Relampago still defending. I think Chavez might be able to get into this battle too. If Relampago keeps up the defense act, Chavez might be able to jump into this and make Sunshine's day even worse. I'm not sure how exactly the gaps are looking from Sunshine and Chavez. We'll have to see. They go into the hotel section, a beautiful hotel in the middle of the mountains. It's a very wonderful sight to see as you see the fireworks going off. It's also a very tricky right-hander, easy to run wide. It's very... Wow! What the hell is Sunshine putting into that gas tank? He just drives past Relampago like he's nothing. What an incredible run Sunshine got out of the corner. Well, this does not mean he's out of the question yet, as he gets a less than optimal line through there, and Relampago is still on the back of Sunshine. But I do believe Sunshine is going to start to pull away here. We'll have to keep an eye on this. WG with a comfortable lead still, but that comfortable lead might start to break apart as Sunshine's starting to push. Relampago also pushing as hard as he can. Relampago's finished top 3 in every single race so far. Actually, our top 3 drivers have finished top 3 in every single race so far. We'll have to see if that changes here tonight at Dubai. Looks like Sunshine's slowly pulling away. Up on board with the battle in the back. Still point scoring positions. Ultra Prime, second to last. Still the best position he's been in so far. In the RFA Championship. If he's able to finish today, he's going to be scoring pretty good points for his championship run. Board with Fishy's Rule. One of the best usernames I've ever found at NBR. With a beautiful, beautiful little drift there. Handling the Lotus beautifully. Oh, we'll hop back on board for the battle for the lead. It looks like Sunshine was taking a cautious run through the chicane. It's ended up costing him a lot of time. He's down to 0.2, 0.1. Relampago, is he going to dive to the inside? Wasn't close enough. It was a really difficult spot to try and send it. He probably could have if he wanted to try and push the side of Sunshine's car out of the way. But then you get into penalty ranges there. Six out of 14 laps so far. So far, one of our cleaner races. Not that many incidents. Only one person's had to pit due to damage so far. And no safety car. Uh-oh. And it is the black screen of death. King Ailey has DNF'd from the race, either due to retirement or connection issues. I'll have to figure that out later. He had really good pace. He was looking to be on par with Chavez, but unfortunately it looked like it didn't end up like it was going to be his race tonight, as he was just having incident after incident, unfortunately. Relampago still on the back of Sunshine within a second still, just barely holding on. I think he's out of the draft now, but that does not mean it's the end of the world for Relampago. We'll have to keep an eye on the times here. Up on board with our leader so far, Larry B. the G. I think that new Martini livery gave him the luck he needed to run this race. Uh-oh. I think I turned off name tags and they're not coming back. Ah, crap, I did it again. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Okay, they're back. Cool. Might be the G with an excellent drive so far. 6.5 seconds to Sunshine behind. So you have info that King Ailey crashed multiple times and left on their own decision, so it was their personal retirement. I'm on board with Ultra Prime, who's now in last. Still not actually last, because we have had one DNF so far. Prime holding his own if he's able to finish again. He's got some ground he's got to make up in the points due to missing out on those double points at Magello. Oh, big wreck from Ultra Prime there. I don't think he got turned around. Hopefully he's still on facing the right direction. Hop on board towards the back to hop on board with a lap with Jay Blair around Dubai. Because we don't have much. Oh, we do have action. Hold on, what's this? Mr. Sunshine in the pits taking his first pit stop of the race. So it looks like they will have to stop. Let's hop on board with Chavez, who might get to duke it out with Mr. Sunshine. I'm curious if Sunshine had damage or this was strategic. At 8 out of 14 laps left. Let's look at the other drivers' damage so far. Yeah, it looks like they're going to have to pit on fuel very shortly. They're not going to be able to make it this full race unless you're lifting and coasting every corner, but I'm yet to see somebody do that. So we'll have to see how this all plays out for the rest of the race here. On board with another driver. Keep an eye on the distances between everyone. Hop on board with the next biggest battle. This is a big track, so we can kind of expect. Oh, another black screen of death. Is this another disconnect? Or a retirement? Relampago with a disconnect. That is really unfortunate. And put Chavez in a podium position now. We've had several disconnects from this session. Do note, if we get down below 4 drivers, the race will be red flagged and restarted with the lap count it was last on. So there's a possibility here, if there's internet connections or whatever, we could have everybody come back in for a restart, but so far it doesn't look like that might be happening. Very unfortunate that we've had 2 disconnects for this race. But that means everybody up is now up a position. Up on board with Larry B. the G, our overall leader, who's yet to make a pit stop. See when he decides to make the strategic stop. Ultra Prime exiting the pits now. Relampago was confirmed and a disconnect. That's really unfortunate. Let's look at Larry's fuel, actually. You know, we didn't actually check this, but he's got 25%. 9 out of 14 laps remaining. I don't think he's going to be able to one-stop this, if that's what he was trying to do. But he might be trying to extend his fuel life as long as possible, as we have a possible battle happening here between Blade and Fishies. Blade whipping that Lotus around the uphill section. As much as I wish it was faster to drift up the hill, it is unfortunately not. These Lotuses sound brilliant. They are beautiful sounding cars. Little pops you get when you're downshifting. And it's not, those pops weren't the fireworks that time. On board with Fishy's Rule. Seems to be holding his own so far from J-Blade. We'll have to keep an eye on those times. They're very close. But now here's the real battle of strategy between the top two. Larry B the G needs to pull a certain amount of time from Sunshine to be able to pit without coming behind him. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing 30 to 40 seconds roughly on this pit lane. So is Larry going to have to go in this lap? Best lap belongs to Mr. Sunshine with a 34. 0334, I think? 0234? Ah, I didn't see it. You'll see it in the top ticker when it comes back around. So is Larry B the G going to be able to make this pit strategy work? We'll have to wait and see. He's pulled it off before. He's pulled off great feats that we never thought were possible at Magello last week. But it looks like every lap that goes by, he's losing time to Sunshine. Which the longer he stays out, this might play negatively if he just went for the one lap overcut. Pit strats are kind of weird in Forza because your pit speed, how fast you're in the box and out of the pit box, is determined by your starting position. So if you start on the front of the grid, you're going to get a much faster pit stop than the guy in the back of the grid. Now Larry was only split one position from Sunshine, so it's not going to make a huge difference, and it looks like he's going to go into the pits. And we'll have to hop on board with Mr. Sunshine to see how this plays out for him. Nine out of 14 laps to go. This race is coming to an end, slowly but surely. Now here we go. Larry the G is already getting out of the pit lane. He has to go all the way around the corner, though, before he's able to get this to work. I have to see. We're on board with Sunshine. We'll see that gap come down slowly. Larry B the G is exiting the pits now, but he's going to be going significantly slower. And they're coming up on lap traffic. This could also play a big fact into the race. Hello, Relampago in chat. It sucks to hear that you just disconnected. It's the worst thing that could happen that late in a race, too. Oh, and Sunshine's almost making the same mistake he did on lap 1, getting into that wall. 5 seconds split Larry B the G and Mr. Sunshine now. I think he did make up time. Also, I was right about that battle formulating between Fishies and J-Blade. Sorry, I'm still trying to learn the names. A lot of new drivers, a lot of new names to remember. Ooh, Fishy's getting a little squirrely down the hill. I think this is going to be J-Blade's time to attack here as they're coming down the hill. I'm board with J-Blade to get a better view of this. Down the hill, J-Blade trying to find a way past. They're both drifting and sliding this little Lotus as hard as they can. And Fishy's Rule around the outside, a little bit of contact. J-Blade holding the inside line. And a little bit of contact, but they're still clean. And this is a tricky corner to see if they're going to be able to hold it. Whoa, Fishy's Rule, well, almost cutting off the door on J-Blade there, but great driving, still clean. Fishy's Rule still holding the position from J-Blade. Wait, 5 seconds split him, and Fishy's going to make a little bit of a line mistake there, and J-Blade's going to send it. Oh, big contact! It's going to send Fishy's into the wall. Is Fishy's going to have any damage? That was a huge shoulder shunt from J-Dog there. It looks like they're, not J-Dog, J-Blade. There's two Japes in the service, throwing me off. Looks like he didn't get any damage from that shunt, but has 4% engine damage, which may have been haltering his performance there. On board Mr. Sunshine in the battle for first position. These are crucial championship points here. Sunshine still has a shot at this championship. He has since day one. Even after losing at Mugello, those double points did hinder his performance. But note, Mr. Sunshine has gotten an extra total of 3 points for the fastest lap every single race so far. He is also going to probably get the fastest lap for this race. As they're coming up on lap traffic, 3.5 seconds split Larry B the G and Mr. Sunshine now, as Ultra Prime is here in the midst. Hopefully he's able to get over. It's kind of a tricky spot to lap somebody. He's going to get by clean. Ultra Prime with a great blue flag procedure there. This is the battle for the lead now. Chavez is going to be scoring very good points. That's if he gets a clean lap. That is true. He's been really close to people, so it's a little tricky. And here we go. Lap traffic. Here's a big mix-up. Is this going to hinder either of their performances here? Great handling of lap traffic from Mr. Sunshine. Great lap traffic procedures from the lapped cars of Mr. Fishy there. This is one of the things that we came out saying for this race, is that lapped blue flag procedures mean you yield. Even if they don't say it in the VC, you are required to yield to those cars. Now, you don't have to, like, ruin your race to get out of their way, but you cannot block them. That's an issue we had last race at Mugello. If you heard the black flag call out in the middle of the race, that was our first driver to get black flagged in a long time. First black flag of this series. Hopefully last, due to the numerous amounts of incidents. But hopefully we're able to clean that up here at Dubai. It's not a track you think to be very clean, due to how narrow some of the parts can get. Like, it's really easy to over-rotate your car and send it through and crash. 11 out of 14 laps now. We're rounding out the race now. If you want to make a move, this is the time to start lining it up. As look how much faster Sunshine's able to hold out of these corners. Catching up 3 seconds now to Larry B the G. He is going to catch him at this rate, but is he going to be able to pass him? Catching somebody is one part of the game. And passing him is a whole different thing, because Larry could make that Lotus as wide as an oversized low truck. I couldn't find a very good explanation or analogy. I could have said a very funny joke, but it wouldn't sound very professional. However, he can make that Lotus as wide as he did. He's got to take some inspiration from Blind Ace Gen, shout out, from the V8 Supercars, when Blind Ace held off Juicebox for several laps at Daytona. This was the race finale, actually. It was a great drive. Even though Ace was significantly down on pace compared to Juicebox, Ace was able to defend almost the entire race. It was an incredible drive. We can maybe see that kind of performance from Larry B the G here. At the same time, Sunshine's got 2.5 seconds nearly to make up, with only a few laps remaining, and Larry is not looking like he's going to make any mistakes anytime soon. Larry's a solid driver. The only time we've really seen him make big mistakes was at Maple Valley, where he kind of threw away his race, but luckily still finished in the top 3 positions. There's a chance of him placing higher, but just the incident took him out. It was really unfortunate. Larry B the G getting a really good run through the chicane. It looks like Sunshine is taking it more cautiously. We'll have to ask him about that in the post-race interviews. Join us for post-race interviews with the drivers to hear their side of the race shortly after the race is done. We'll have post-race ad roll, and then interviews will come up. Starting on pole, might finish in second here, as Larry B the G is pulling on Sunshine up the hill. Does Sunshine have damage? He had engine damage early on. Doesn't look like it. Curious how Larry's able to hold that position so well. J-Blade up into 4th. Got a position on Ultra Prime, who I guess had to pit. We'll keep an eye on this battle between Fishies and Ultra Prime as they're going up the hill here. For Larry V the G, an excellent drive. Sunshine I mean, it could have gone any way. If Sunshine didn't get caught out by that incident early on, this race could be going completely different. It could be Sunshine's winning, but you know, incidents and accidents are all a part of racing, and how you deal with them and how you make up positions and how you fight back is what really matters. I can tell though that they're both pushing as hard as they can. They're about to hit the penultimate lap of race number 3 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Dubai. Larry's about to start the penultimate lap, lap number 13 out of 14 at Dubai. Still holding about the same gap as he had in previous laps. Sunshine needs to find some way to push to get up there. He's running out of track to make this happen. He's got to catch up nearly 3 seconds now and also pass him. I just don't see that happening unless Larry makes a mistake, which we could see. It is Dubai. It's a very technical track. Oh, and here we go. Let's look at the next closest battle. Ultra Prime on Fishy's Rule 820. Wow. Does Ultra Prime got engine damage? 2%. Shifting really early. Keep an eye on the gap between Larry B the G and Sunshine in the bottom left there. 2.2 seconds. 2.4. Ultra Prime. This is the battle for last position in the race so far. Not the official last position, but the last track position on race. As we've had 2 DNFs, unfortunately, from this great race so far. Oh, Sunshine looks to be getting a bit of a run here on Larry B the G, almost breaking within 2 seconds now. Keep an eye on that time. Chavez about to hit lap traffic here. This could get interesting between the 3 as we see on screen now. Ah, dang it. I didn't mean to do that. Switching back to Ultra Prime. Is Ultra Prime going to be able to get Fishy's... Ah, why does it keep doing that? Ah, it's fine. This is fine. Watching in the bottom left once more. Sunshine, Larry B the G, a little bit of contact between Ultra Prime and Fishy's Rule. And here we go. Chavez getting into the mix, trying to lap too. It's kind of hard to yield to lap traffic, especially when you're in the midst of a battle. Oh, Chavez almost getting into Fishy's Rule there. Chavez trying to get around. Fishy's Rule adheres to blue flags here. We see Mr. Sunshine, then 1.6 seconds of Larry B the G. Chavez getting real squirrely there. Oh, Fishy with a hefty wall strike. And Sunshine! Sunshine! What happened to Sunshine? Sunshine's around! Sunshine is wrecked! That is going to be the end of Sunshine's run here. How much damage? He's almost totaled. That is a big wreck from Mellow Mr. Sunshine. That might cost him second position because he's going to have to pit unless he tries to stay out. I'm curious what caused that. We should have been watching. I'm wondering if that had to do anything with J-Blade there, as he was a lapped car there. And it just happened that incident happened right as he was crossing J-Blade as he entered there. We'll keep an eye on the Ultra Prime battle, as we'll also keep an eye on Chavez. And it looks like Sunshine's staying out. He's going to try and tough it out. Is Chavez going to be able to take second position? I don't think so. It's a really big gap right now. It's got 32 seconds, but Sunshine lost so much time and is going to lose so much time from that incident. Oh, Ultra Prime running really wide around the outside, trying to pass Mr. Fisher. This is a great duel in the back here, as the white flag has waved from Larry B the G, as Larry B the G is still in first position. Could come home to a win here, as we see the battle for 3rd, 6th, and 5th right now, and possible 3rd and 2nd as Chavez is catching Mr. Sunshine rapidly. Sunshine has got to be struggling with that car going up the hill, as it has major suspension damage. I'm really curious what caused that incident. Ultra Prime getting back. Oh! Fishy is around! Oh, no, Fishy's good. Sorry, I thought Fishy's flipped there. It was actually the number board, not the number board, one of the advertisements on the side of the track that flipped. Has 31 seconds to Sunshine. I think Sunshine's going to be able to hold this. I'm curious if J-Blade has any damage either. So he got through there scot-free. I'm really curious to see if there's going to be an investigation for that after the race, because that could have just thrown away Mr. Sunshine's race. It could also just have been a racing incident, as it happens in racing. We'll have to wait and see for the investigation afterwards, if there is one. Oh, Chavez! Getting into the wall there, that could have been really bad, causing damage there. Luckily, he's A-okay. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Mr. Sunshine at this rate. Larry B. the G now just has to bring it home. As long as he brings the car home, he's going to win at race number 3 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Dubai, as he's coming through the penultimate set of corners into the tunnel. Bringing that Martini Racing Lotus Exige around the corner, up the hill, and to the finish line. Larry B. the G is coming home to win 2 races in a row for the Race for ALS Charity Championship. And he crosses the line for back-to-back wins in the RFA Charity Championship. Hop on board with second place so far. Mr. Sunshine, really unfortunate end to his race with a big incident on the penultimate lap. He's going to finish back-to-back in second place. However, he may have secured the best lap point. We'll have to wait. And rounding out our top 3 podium finishers is Chavez, with his best finish so far in the Race for ALS Charity Championship. This is only his second race so far, but still. Great drive, kept it on the track. Very difficult car, very difficult track. He said he was getting more comfortable with the car. He looked like he was getting more comfortable with the car, but this track throws a curveball every time, and Chavez finishes third at race number 3 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship. Let's hop on board with our lapped back markers. 4th position, J-Blade. We have an update on that incident between Mr. Sunshine and the penultimate lap. Coming into the tunnel section, he made no contact with the lapped car. It may have been just a self-inflicted incident. He was pushing too hard and made a mistake. It was very unfortunate. J-Blade coming through the penultimate corner through the tunnel section. And he's going to secure a 4th place position at race number 3 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Dubai. Oh, he's going to drift it across the final the start-finish line, which is going to wind up with a warning. That is not allowed at NBR to showboat across the start-finish line. An Ultra Prime, 5th position now. I believe he was lapped once. I think he's coming home to finish now. We'll have to see. I had a great battle with Fishy Rules back there. They're pretty equal on pace. It was pretty cool to see the backmarkers having people to fight with. Is he down a lap still? No, he's not down a lap. He's going to finish this lap, I believe. He's coming through the final corner to finish 5th at race number 3 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship. Hopping on board with last but not least of our finishers on track today, Fishy's Rule 820, finishing 6th, finishing his first race at the Race for ALS Charity Championship. And that is all of our finishing drivers today at race number 3. Let's look at our provisional results, and then we'll get to our post-race interviews. And here are our provisional results for race number 3 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship. First, we have Larry B. the G. Second, LL Mr. Sunshine. Third, Chavez. Fourth, J Blade YT. Fifth, Ultra Prime. Sixth, Fishy's Rule 820. And we have 2 DNFs, Relampago and King A. Lee. Mr. Sunshine, unfortunately not getting the fastest lap point of the session. That fastest lap point is going to Larry B. the G this time around. He breaks his streak for fastest lap points. Alright, stay tuned with us so that we can get our post-race interviews going. Larry B. the G, another win, back-to-back wins for the Race for ALS Charity Championship. Congrats. How are you feeling?
I'm shaking.
Shaken? Shaken bacon?
Yeah, that was definitely a bit of a sweaty one. Yeah, I did not think I was gonna win that one. I'm not gonna lie, because Sunshine definitely had the legs on me, and I think I went a little too ambitious in my setup. It was kind of costing me time in a few places, but it ended up working out.
I wasn't intentionally rooting against you, but I was at the beginning of the race. I was thinking, I think Sunshine's got you on this one, but yet again, you surprised everybody by pulling a fastest lap and the race win, back-to-back wins. That's going to put you in good standings in the championship.
Yeah, definitely happy with that. I wasn't expecting the fastest lap either. I was kind of coming in here like, all right, Sunshine's gonna get the fastest lap, so I kind of have to make up my points by winning. But yeah, I'll definitely take that extra bonus.
Another great drive, Larry, and hope to see you back next week.
Thank you.
Next up in the list is Chavez with a podium finish today. Hey, was it luck or fate? Great drive, Chavez. Another great one in the bag. Getting good points towards the championship, too. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. At the beginning, the car felt better than in the latter stages of the race. I think I went too aggressive, so I was sliding after I had tire wear. At the beginning, I was feeling confident, like on the first sector, going uphill. I think I had good pace over there. I just didn't have enough pace, like in the tunnel, when the lap reset every time by the pit lane. Other than that, I just had to nail down the setup for next week's race. Hope I'm more gripped up than this week, because I was sliding everywhere in the latter stages.
Hey, you kept it on the track and you still finished, though.
Yeah, it was a fun race. I usually drift that track, so I really like it. I think that the play a part today. So
Yeah, it's some experience.
hopefully next week I can grip up the car more, so I don't get absolutely destroyed every time we take a corner in Monza.
Hey, can't wait to see you next week at Monza. Great race.
Thank you.
Next up on the list, J Blade with a 4th place finish. Looks like you were a bit squirrely out there. Was the tune uncomfortable for you?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I was going, two things I feel happened. I was going too aggressive, and the tune was just kind of shoddily put together in a rush because the race was starting soon. And keep in mind, it was also 3 a.m. when I was trying to make the tune and practicing at Dubai. Coincidentally, I was doing better at 3 a.m. than I did today at 4 when I was away.
Hey, you still kept it on track. and finished 4th place. That's not a bad result for your first race here.
Thanks. I mean, hey, at least it wasn't last.
Yep. You could have disconnected.
Like I did
Excuse me for one
last
second.
night.
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
There you
Congrats
go.
on the great finish. You had a strong drive out there. Hope to see you next week at Monza.
Hey, I'll see if I can make it.
Next up, Ultra Prime. Ultra Prime, you didn't finish last.
We finished.
You finished too. What a great drive.
I will say, Fishies did really good at a good fight. He did have a good fight with him.
We saw it on stream. Don't worry, we were
Oh,
watching
yeah.
it. It was great.
But
How are you feeling? How was
I
the car today?
feel better, but I gotta work on that 6th gear because I didn't have very much power in it. And
Oh, I thought you were shifting early. It
No,
looked like
like,
the car
when
just died in 6th.
I would let 5th gear go, hit it a couple times, and then like hit it, and then just terrible. Otherwise,
Did you change the gearing?
I think I did, and I just forgot to change everything because I've been busy all week with everything,
Okay.
and then I just hadn't had time to practice on that one. But
Enough.
otherwise, we did pretty good, I will say. Completing
Made it
this
to the
one.
Yeah,
I
it was
won't
a great
be.
drive.
Unfortunately, I won't be here next week for the race.
Okay.
Because I'll be at a
Will you be-
football game.
Oh, of course. What football game was it?
I'll be watching the Chiefs versus the Bears.
Who are we rooting for?
Probably the Chiefs, most likely. In a
Valid
nice,
choice.
comfy press box.
Awesome.
Alright.
Alright, love to see you on week 5 if you're back for
Oh,
that.
I'll be back, yeah.
Great performance once again.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching race number 3 of the Race for ALS Charity Championship. A huge thank you for our biggest donator so far, Ultra Prime, with a total of a $20 donation. And your donations are extremely appreciated, and thank you so much for your donations. If you wish to donate, you can donate in the Twitch donate button, or you can go to the PayPal that is linked in the chat or in the description of the video, or in the comment section. It might be both. But upcoming events we have for NBR, we have a busy weekend coming up. Let me pull out the calendar real quick. So, September 22nd, we have TFG race number 5 at Sebring and the Daytona Prototypes. That's going to be a fun race. We have the last tour, race number 6, which is in the Ford GT at the VIR. Also, the same day, we have MCE, the final race of 2023, the Multi-Class Endurance Championship, 2.5 hours of Road Atlanta and DPIs, Prototype 2s, and NASCARs as a little twist to end the season off. And on Sunday, we have race number 4 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship. That is going to be at Monza. That is it for this upcoming week of events. I hope to see you all there. If you're interested in joining us for racing, head down to the description below and join the Discord. Please donate to our charity fundraiser. As I said earlier, this charity is supposed to help those with ALS. All funds are going directly to the ALS Association. Meaning any cheers, subscriptions, donations on Twitch, or fundraising donations on PayPal, all going to the ALS Association. The funds are going to be used for helping research and provide those who are in need with ALS. That could be going towards accessibility, equipment, or going to a search for a cure. Thank you all for watching. I'm Gabriel Woodward, and I'm signing out.